China is a land where nature and legend intertwine. From snow-capped peaks and sacred mountains to rainbow lakes and ancient walls, each landscape tells a story of time and spirit. Here, the earth breathes in colors beyond imagination. Icy blues, golden temples, and misty valleys where history still whispers. These places are not just destinations, but living poems that reveal the soul and grandeur of China's untamed beauty. Rising majestically above the ancient town of Lijiang, Yulong Snow Mountain, or Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, stands as one of China's most breathtaking natural wonders. With its highest peak reaching 5,096 meters, this sacred mountain of the Naxi people is often seen as the bridge between heaven and earth, a symbol of purity, eternity, and divine love. At dawn, the sun's first light turns the snow peaks into shimmering silver, while clouds drift across the ridges like soft silk. The mountain is made up of 13 jagged peaks, each with its own legend and spirit. The air is thin, crisp, and filled with the faint echo of the wind, as if the mountain itself were whispering ancient stories carried through time. Below the glaciers lies the enchanting Blue Moon Valley, where turquoise waters mirror the white summits above. The valley's surreal beauty changes with the seasons. In spring, wildflowers bloom against the melting snow. In winter, the entire landscape becomes a world of ice and reflection. The famous Glacier Park, reached by cable car, offers a once-in-a-lifetime view, a panorama of sky, ice, and endless silence. For the Naxi people, Yulong Snow Mountain is more than a sight to behold. It is a living deity, guarding their homeland and their hearts. Standing here, one feels the boundary between earth and sky dissolve, a moment where nature humbles the soul. In the quiet embrace of this mountain, travelers discover something eternal, the stillness of time and the truth that beauty, in its purest form, needs no words. In the heart of Shaanxi province lies a wonder born of both earth and time, Yuncheng Salt Lake, often called China's Dead Sea. Spanning more than 130 square kilometers, this vast natural salt lake has existed for over 4,000 years, shimmering like a giant mirror in the dry northern plains. Yet what makes it truly magical is its ever-changing palette of colors, a living canvas that transforms with the light. From above, Yuncheng Salt Lake appears like a dream, painted by nature itself. Depending on the season and temperature, the lake's surface shifts between shades of pink, violet, emerald, and gold. This surreal transformation is created by Dunaliella salina, a microscopic algae that thrives in high salinity. When sunlight strikes the water, countless hues ripple across its surface, turning it into one of the most photogenic landscapes on Earth. Walking along its shores feels like stepping into another world, where silence reigns, the air smells faintly of minerals, and the horizon blurs into infinity. Locals have harvested salt here since ancient times, making it one of the oldest salt production sites in China. The remnants of those traditions, wooden rafts, crystallized ponds, and white salt plains, still echo with the rhythm of human history. At sunset, the entire lake glows like molten glass, reflecting the sky in shades of rose and gold. It is a moment that defies words, fragile, ephemeral, and utterly unforgettable. Yuncheng Salt Lake is not only a spectacle of color, but also a meditation on time itself. In its silent beauty, visitors are reminded that even in the harshest places, life finds a way to create wonder. Stretching like a dragon across mountains, deserts, and valleys, The Great Wall of China is one of humanity's most awe-inspiring creations. A symbol of endurance, unity, and the unyielding spirit of a civilization. Spanning more than 21,000 kilometers, it weaves through northern China, linking the past and present like an unbroken thread of stone and memory. Built over 2,000 years, from the Qin to the Ming dynasties, the wall once stood as a guardian of the empire, protecting ancient China from invasions and uniting its vast lands. Each brick, each watchtower, carries the echo of countless hands and countless dreams, soldiers, farmers, and craftsmen who turned mountains into monuments. Today, its most famous sections, Badaling, Mutianyu, and Jinshanling, reveal different faces of its grandeur. At dawn, mist curls around the ramparts like a river of clouds. In autumn, golden leaves cascade across the slopes, while in winter, snow transforms the wall into a silent white serpent gliding through the hills. Every season breathes new life into this ancient wonder. Walking along its winding stones, one feels the weight of centuries beneath each step. The whisper of wind through watchtowers, the call of history carried across the plains. The horizon stretches endlessly, and for a brief moment, time stands still. The Great Wall is more than a fortress. It is a story written in stone, of courage, sacrifice, and vision. It reminds every traveler that even the greatest boundaries can become bridges of culture, and that true strength lies not in walls that divide, but in the spirit that endures beyond them. High above the plains of Hebei, Baishi Shan, or Whitestone Mountain, rises like a citadel of clouds and light, Its name, meaning Mountain of White Stone, comes from the dazzling quartz cliffs that gleam under the sun, creating an almost otherworldly glow. Here, wind and time have sculpted towers of rock that seem to float in the mist, forming one of China's most breathtaking sky realms. At over 2,000 meters above sea level, Baishi Shan is known for its glass walkway, suspended between two cliffs. As travelers step onto the transparent bridge, clouds swirl beneath their feet, and the world below disappears into a sea of vapor. The heart pounds not only from fear, but from awe, a reminder of how small yet alive we are in the face of nature's vastness. The mountain is a sanctuary for dreamers and adventurers alike. In the early morning, the first rays of sunlight pierce through waves of fog, painting the cliffs in gold and silver. By afternoon, shadows dance across the peaks, and the horizon melts into a soft blur of sky and stone. Each turn of the path offers a new perspective, a view that feels both infinite and intimate. Legends say Baishi Shan was once a gathering place of immortals, and standing there, it's easy to believe. The stillness in the air, the shimmer of clouds, the quiet heartbeat of the earth, all merge into a single, timeless moment. In Baishi Shan, the boundary between heaven and earth disappears. What remains is the simple truth that courage, wonder, and beauty often begin at the edge of fear. Hidden among the emerald peaks of Anhui Province lies Mount Jiuhua, or the Mountain of Nine Glories, one of the 4 sacred mountains of Chinese Buddhism. Rising in mist and silence, Jiuhua is not just a landscape, but a sanctuary of spirit, where temples cling to cliffs and prayers drift like clouds through the air. The mountain is dedicated to Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, the guardian of compassion and salvation. Pilgrims have journeyed here for over 1,000 years, climbing winding stone paths shaded by ancient pines, seeking peace and enlightenment. Each step feels like a quiet conversation between the heart and the universe. There are more than 90 temples scattered across the slopes, the most famous being Huacheng Temple, where the body of a revered monk is said to have remained miraculously preserved. Bells echo from mountaintops, and the scent of incense mingles with mountain mist, creating an atmosphere that feels both sacred and surreal. At sunrise, the heavenly terrace peak, Tiantai, bathes in golden light. Below, valleys ripple with clouds like an ocean in motion. Visitors often pause here, not to take pictures, but to breathe, to let the stillness wash over them. Mount Jiuhua is a journey inward as much as it is upward. It teaches that enlightenment isn't a destination, but a way of seeing, to find calm amid chaos and grace within struggle. In this mountain of faith and serenity, where each echo of the temple bell fades into eternity, travelers discover what every pilgrim has always sought, a glimpse of the infinite within the fragile beauty of the present moment. In the misty northeast of China, where ancient kingdoms once rose and fell, stands Wu Mountain, known in legend as the Mountain of Five Maidens. Its 5 peaks, graceful yet solemn, are said to be the eternal forms of 5 sisters who turned to stone, waiting faithfully for their beloveds who never returned from war. Here, myth and history intertwine, and every gust of wind carries whispers from centuries past. Wu Mountain is part of the Goguryeo Heritage Site, one of China's most significant archaeological treasures and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Scattered across its slopes are the remnants of ancient fortresses, royal tombs, and stone carvings that once marked the glory of a lost kingdom. The ruins, now embraced by moss and mist, evoke a haunting beauty, the silence of time itself standing guard. At dawn, fog flows like rivers between the peaks, and the mountain seems to breathe. The landscape is both serene and melancholic, filled with an invisible presence that touches the heart. Travelers who climb its trails find not just panoramic views, but also a deep connection to the souls who once walked here, warriors, queens, and the 5 maidens of legend. From its summit, the horizon unfolds endlessly, blending forest, stone, and sky into a single living painting. As sunlight breaks through the clouds, the mountain reveals its quiet strength, timeless, tender, and unbroken. Wu Mountain is more than a relic of history. It is a hymn to loyalty, love, and endurance. Amid the ruins and mist, one feels the truth of all great stories, that even when bodies fade, devotion can turn into stone and live forever in the heart of the earth. Deep in the forested hills of Hunan lies the Mausoleum of Emperor Yan, a place where legend, ancestry, and reverence converge. Emperor Yan, also known as the Flame Emperor Shennong, is remembered as one of the founding ancestors of Chinese civilization. the god of agriculture and medicine who taught humanity to cultivate crops and heal with herbs. His resting place is not merely a tomb, but a sacred monument to the origins of an entire culture. Surrounded by towering pines and the murmuring of wind, the mausoleum radiates a solemn tranquility. The grand statue of Emperor Yan, carved in stone and bronze, gazes over the land like a timeless guardian. Every spring, thousands gather here to take part in the ancestral worship ceremony, a centuries-old ritual that honors the virtues of diligence, harmony, and gratitude, values that shaped the Chinese spirit for millennia. Walking through the complex feels like a journey backward through history. Stone paths lead to ancient altars, ceremonial gates, and inscriptions that tell stories of unity between heaven and earth. The air is thick with incense, and the echo of drums marks the rhythm of devotion. At dusk, when the setting sun bathes the site in a golden glow, the entire valley seems to breathe with memory. The place feels alive, not with ghosts, but with the living essence of heritage itself. The Mausoleum of Emperor Yan is more than a burial ground. It is a symbol of continuity, reminding every visitor of their roots. Here, among sacred mountains and endless silence, China's journey, from myth to civilization, finds its eternal heartbeat. From the frozen peaks of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain to the shimmering colors of Chung Salt Lake, from the timeless stones of the Great Wall to to the misty cliffs of Baishi Shan. Each place reveals a different face of China's soul, wild, sacred, and endlessly beautiful. These landscapes are more than destinations. They are living poems carved by wind, water, and time. As we journey through sacred mountains, ancient legends, and forgotten empires, one truth becomes clear. China's natural wonders are not just to be seen, but to be felt. They invite us to slow down, to listen, and to reconnect with the world in its purest form. If these stories moved your heart or sparked your wanderlust, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our next adventure across the world's most magical places. Let the beauty of the earth inspire you, and may every journey remind you how extraordinary our planet truly is.